Well, we're on our way up to Three Rivers, Michigan, just south of Kalamazoo. That's we're on our way up to Three Rivers, Michigan, just south of Kalamazoo. That's the home of R&R Trailers, the manufacturer and sellers of the amazing aluminum trailer that we're going to be getting for this project. So, looking forward. Been up there once before, going back up there again, just to finalize some things about the tongue length, the nose, and a few other options. So about a 90-minute drive, not too bad. All right, I'll pick it up when we get there. Okay, I'm here in Three Rivers, Michigan at the R&R factory and taking a look at a Force, an R&R Force. We'll be getting an 8 by 20. And this is Pat?
This is an 814.
814.
So this is actually as wide as the one you're looking at.
Ah, I see that now. So that's the ramp. Oh, that's cool.
That just comes off and holds
That's
the actual
really
bar.
cool the way that
You
works.
Remove it to a bolt on each side.
This one's got the track in it.
This one's got some E-track in it, yes. Finished plywood interior. They mounted a spare tire carrier up there in the front,
Yep.
so that's where the spare tire will get mounted.
Can I walk up?
Yep, you can go in there. She's all set.
This one's also a 6-foot ceiling as opposed to the 6'6", which I'll be getting. So this gives you an idea of what they look like, where the wheel wells are inside. Shoot down the other side here. Of course, this trailer is still missing a wheel or an axle. It'll have 2 when it's done.
Sales office.
And here you can see a trailer and this is a snowmobile trailer?
This is a snowmobile trailer, yes.
Here you can see a snowmobile trailer just getting started. See all the wiring going up through the nose. All the beautiful aluminum, nothing to rust. Just amazing. And this is the 110.
Yep, that's right. And this has a 30 amp package, so this will almost be set up almost like an RV would be. You can actually pull this into a campground and plug it into a 30 amp service.
All right. Awesome. Welcome to episode 2 of Walking into the Sunset, the trailer. So in this episode, we're going to see about the trailer build and exactly what I went through, my thought process. So as you've seen at the beginning of this, you saw me going in for the initial visit and talking to R&R Trailers after discovering them and getting a feel for what they build. And afterwards, of course, I felt really good about it. But let me tell you some of the things that went into the thought process for this trailer. First of all, the standard height of their trailers is 6'6" inside. Now, when I started this project, I was going to go with 7'6", because I knew I had to raise a couple floors and bathroom areas and a few other things, and I wanted that extra height. Then I looked at what it was going to add to the weight, but moreover, in my research and talking to people, once you go to that 7'6", your gas mileage can drop 2 to 3 miles a gallon for your tow vehicle. Well, that was more than what I wanted to sacrifice. And after all, other than in those couple spaces where you need that extra height is actually kind of wasted because you don't use it. It's just more to look up and see more space. So I decided to go with the standard 6'6" height of the R&R trailers. And in retrospect, I would say, yeah, I'm glad I did. It's made it easier, certainly, to work on the trailer. There's no step stool needed when you're doing ceilings or anything like that. So actually, I'm glad I went with that. Now, the dry weight of the build was going to be 3,050 pounds for an 8x20, 8-foot wide trailer. That's pretty good. Now, it's not drastically different than what a steel trailer is, but it is, 10-20% less, which again, I think I mentioned that in an earlier video. That was enough to make me go with the aluminum, along with the corrosion resistance, the durability, a number of things, advantages that the aluminum trailers have. One of the things that early on that I was going to have them put on the trailer was their aluminum roof racks. It was going to be cheaper, it was going to be a better alternative, and I was going to fill the roof with solar. Well, the thing that changed from the time I originally priced that out to the time the build actually started of the trailer was I changed what I was going to do in the way of solar. And we will talk about solar much more in later episodes, but being that I changed what I was going to do in the way of solar, I decided not to have them put any roof racks on whatsoever. The extended tongue. That was something that I kind of went back and forth on. Weight distribution is kind of it's a big debate on aluminum trailers. Some people say don't use weight distribution. Aluminum trailers can't take the pressure it creates. Some people say, you got to have it. It's all over the map. But I wanted to have a tongue that was long enough to get that space to put weight distribution on if I needed it. I think I am going to put it on, and that's something we're going to cover a little later on. I kind of have selected what I'm going to use for weight distribution, and we'll talk about that later on. I haven't gotten it yet, but I am working towards that, making sure that's what I'm going to do. And there are some, again, I think I said in the last episode, there's some unique things with my truck that I'm working out right now, good and bad. So, of course, escape windows. My understanding is, and in the comments you can say if you know different, but I've been told and what I've read is there are a lot of state and national parks you stay in where if you're sleeping in a trailer, whether it be a cargo trailer conversion or whether it be an RV, whatever it is, you have to have escape windows. Now, most RVs, of course, come with escape windows, but instead of just standard windows or putting something in myself later, I wanted escape windows, and it was an expensive option. In the case of R&R, they went with Lippert escape windows. I'm indifferent to it. It's an escape window. It's not double paned. It's nothing really fancy, but it is an escape window listed for that purpose. And we did some research and made sure we got the height correct for the escape window. And so when they put it in, so escape windows is what we got in the build. One of the other things that I wanted, and you may notice, is the side door of the trailer is set back further than what most trailers are. I believe it's 4 feet back from where the nose starts. So most side doors are pretty far to the front. Mine, of course, isn't in the center or anything, but it is pushed back in the second third, I would say, of the trailer. Maybe not, but it's back like 4 feet. The fan location. The fan location is in the nose of the trailer. I probably would have done it different if I wouldn't have had the idea that I was going to cover the roof with solar, and the type of solar I was going to use at the time would have been mounted to the roof. Well, that's not the case as the build went on, and the fan could have been located towards the center or towards the back where some of the facilities are located, where the fan would have been better to have. I may actually end up having to cut another fan in later. That's something I'm just going to have to see. I decided on the trailer that instead of just the steel rims for the upgrade costs, I did want the aluminum rims. And they don't match my truck, but they're a close second to what I have on the truck. So the aluminum rims do look really nice on the trailer, and I'm glad I went with them. For the axles, I knew I wanted Dexter axles. Now, I'm not a trailer expert or a mechanic or anything, but everybody always tells me Dexter is what you want in the way of axles, and they are a local company. They're here in northern Indiana. And at first, when I talked to them, I wanted straight axles because I hear so many people say get straight axles. And I actually have had straight axles as an option on some of my cargo trailers in the past. But they really did talk me out of the straight axles and talk me into going with torsion axles because of the ride, the independent suspension, and a number of other things. Something we'll talk about later, but I did decide to go with Dexter torsion axles on this build. So that's what I have. And again, 3,500 pound axles, so the trailer is a 7,000 pound haul trailer. I wanted a ramp instead of the barn doors. It is my plan eventually to be able to extend the living space, that extra 6'6" by 8 foot, which is a lot. That's a big area to extend. Now, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to extend the living space, but I'm really looking forward to the challenge to creating something that's not only secure when it's open, safe for the dogs to go out, doesn't allow bugs in. So that's something I'll be working on. So the trailer was ordered and they started to work on it. So now we're going to go to the factory and see the trailer built. Okay, here we are. We're inside the factory in Three Rivers, Michigan. Here is the skeleton. We have the extended tongue put on. You can see we had the door set back. That way it would leave enough room in this area here. This is the 8 foot wide. You can see up in the front is where the Max Air fan is going to go in the V. That way it doesn't obstruct any of the area for the solar. You can see the one escape window there. In the back here is where the other escape window goes. Of course, it's going to have a huge drop-down door here in the back. Kind of nice to be able to see the way all this is being built. I believe this is being put in for the receiver hitch. We're going to have a 2-inch receiver hitch put on the back of this. Not to pull something else, but for bikes, for storage, all sorts of things. But you can see all the aluminum that's going into making this. Just a mass amount of aluminum. You can also see another unique thing they do. If you see this tubing that runs under the trailer here, this tubing is going to carry the trailer wiring back to the brakes to keep it protected. When I heard about that, I thought a very unique setup for these trailers so it's not exposed to all the elements. Rounded front nose, and again the extended tongue here. Okay, here we are. Day 2 of the trailer build. As you can see, the gate has been done. Now you can see the color of the trailer. It kind of matches the truck. See the openings for the windows. Here's where the door is going to be, obviously. Very interesting. You can see there's plywood over the entire bottom side of the roof, so it is a walkable roof. See, everything's starting to come together here. Now we get to see the extended tongue. What the front of the trailer looks like. Wow. What a beautiful trailer. Yeah, nice extended tongue. Diamond plate on the bottom. See down the side of the trailer here. See the seamless skin on the trailer. Running lights. Here we are. There's the trailer. I see it. See it? Should we park in here, you think? Let's go to the office instead. There it is. Here we are at R&R Trailers. So pickup day for the trailer was quite the day, I gotta tell you. I had had some damage to my house and my studio building in a hailstorm we had here in May of that previous year. And I had some roofing that had to be fixed and a number of things. And believe it or not, my roofing company wanted to fix it in January during about the time I was getting the trailer. So the roofing company told me, well, it could be this day, could be that day. They weren't sure. So on the morning of the day the trailer was ready, I waited till 8:30 and the roofing company never showed up. And it was one of their possibility days. Well, I made the assumption that, well, they're not going to be here. I mean, what roofing company starts after 8:30 in the morning? That would just be silly. So drove up to Three Rivers, took my buddy with me. We're going to go up and get the trailer. And we're almost to Three Rivers, and all of a sudden, I hear my Ring doorbell ring, and I answered it, and it's the roofer. They're there. They showed up like at 10:30 to start the roof. And I tell them, I'm like, well, I'm not there. You didn't show up. Well, we're here. We got to start the roof. I'm like, oh no. So they're starting the roof. So I call my neighbor. I get my neighbor to open the gate into the backyard so they can get going and do all that stuff. Well, it turned, this wonderful experience of going and picking up my trailer and really enjoying that time into, hurry, we got to get the trailer and get it home. And then to add to it, we decided to have a blizzard on the way home. So I was pulling a brand new trailer, the 90 minutes home, down the expressway through a blizzard. And you'll see in the last shot of the trailer, when it's there in the storage yard, you'll see the road ice and everything splashed up on the front of the trailer. It was covered with it. Got it home, got back, got the roofers taken care of. Everything was good. So just thought I'd share with you how that day that I picked the trailer went up. It just was a bad day. Bad memories even now about how a wonderful day went really bad. So that does it for this episode. In the next episode, we're going to touch a lot of the very specific information about things that I really was looking for in this build. We'll take a look at the floor plan that I came up with, which changed a number of times over the time that I was either dreaming about this or, put my money down. The trailer was being built, but I have a somewhat final floor plan that I built it by, and it stayed pretty close to the plan as it was being built. So we'll take a look at that, and we'll take a look at what a lot of my expectations were. And again, a lot of the things I stuck with pretty much during the build. There were a lot of deviations from what I thought I was going to do, but stay tuned to see all those things as this build goes on. I think you're really going to enjoy it. And starting with the next one, we will be starting to put up the weight of the trailer as we go through this build process. I will also cover what my goal weights are in the next episode, where we want to be, and you'll see where we go as we build it. So thanks for watching. I appreciate everybody. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Thank you.